The city of Sinton declines a meeting to discuss water projects with Corpus Christi. Mariachi students from McAllen were released from ICE detention. And how long will Texas businesses have to wait before they're reimbursed from President Trump's tariffs? This is South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Thank you for joining me on this Tuesday, March 10th. As drought conditions continue in South Texas, the city of Sinton declined to meet Tuesday with the city of Corpus Christi regarding the proposed Evangeline Laguna water project in San Patricio County. The meeting, set to be hosted by Senator Adam Hinojosa, District 27, is meant to bring together city leaders from Sinton and Corpus Christi to discuss water supply concerns. Up to 3 representatives from each city were invited by Hinojosa to attend the meeting at a neutral site. The city of Sinton declined Hinojosa's request on Monday, saying no discussions will be had until, quote, the City of Corpus Christi, or CCC, provides essential information and responds to a previously submitted proposal intended to resolve ongoing groundwater permit matters, unquote. Corpus Christi City Manager Peter Zanoni stated in a news release that Corpus Christi officials will attend the meeting in good faith. He also denied the City of Sinton's allegations regarding no response over essential information requests. He said CCC's Evangeline project attorney had responded through proper legal channels and received responses from Sinton's project attorney. The city of Corpus Christi issued a statement on a recent article written by Inside Climate News and republished by the Texas Tribune and other publications. Officials say that the article states that the city will run out of water next year. They countered that statement by saying that they have invested almost $1 billion in active water projects with construction and engineering efforts. Contrary to the article, there is no pay-to-avoid mechanism for water use restrictions. Participation in the Drought Surcharge Exemption Fee, or DSEF, program does not allow any industrial user to bypass drought restrictions or curtailment rules. Under the city's drought contingency plan, all industrial users, regardless of fee status, remain subject to water restrictions during mandatory drought stages. That includes levels 1 and 2 water emergencies. The DSEF generates about $6 million annually. By law, those funds are restricted for the development of new water sources. The revenue ensures that the multi-million-dollar cost of securing water future for the area is not placed solely on residential taxpayers. The article also focused on unavailability of specific city leaders for sit-down interviews. City officials stated they provided comprehensive data, technical documents, and a detailed interview with Corpus Christi Water's chief operating officer. The information was excluded from the final report. 3 mariachi students from McAllen were released from ICE detention on Monday after bipartisan pressure. Some lawmakers made a site visit to the Dilley Detention Center where 2 of the teens were held. Texas Public Radio's Corey Cook reports.
Castro said the Gamez-Cuellar family was released from detention, but his work is not finished.
I'd said very clearly that my goal is to shut down Dilley. I don't think anybody should be kept in that trailer prison, and most especially children. We met more children today who have been traumatized by the experience.
Castro provided examples of a young boy with a swollen stomach from lack of food and a pregnant woman lacking medical care to describe the inadequate and often cruel treatment. This was Castro's 3rd trip to Dilley. He's expecting to return there on March 20th. I'm Corey Cook in San Antonio.
The Rio Grande Valley Business Journal reports that Texas LNG Brownsville LLC inked a deal with general contractor Kiewit for its $4 billion liquefied natural gas export terminal in the Rio Grande Valley. The value of the terminal was not disclosed. The Rio Grande Valley Business Journal is in partnership with KEDT. B County officials issued a 90-day burn ban on outdoor burning in unincorporated areas of the county effective Monday. City officials said the measure aims to reduce wildfire risk during the current dry weather. The ban prohibits lighting any combustible or vegetative material outside of enclosed containers unless specifically allowed under exceptions. Violating the order is a Class C misdemeanor with fines up to $500. The U.S. Court of International Trade has ordered the Trump administration to repay tariffs President Trump imposed by executive order just over a year ago. Houston Public Media's Andrew Schneider reports that even though the U.S. Supreme Court ruled the tariffs were collected illegally, many Texas businesses may wait years for any reimbursement.
Weston O'Black, an attorney with the Houston office of Sussman Godfrey, says the Trump administration may challenge the Court of International Trade's ability to order nationwide tariff refunds.
I don't know yet whether that's going to happen, and we are going to have to see in the coming days. But if that does happen, that's just going to slow things down even more.
Dallas-based attorney Michelle Schultz says companies that sue to try to force Customs to repay the tariffs run the risk of retaliation.
Customs is also going to be looking in that same system to see if you made any mistakes. and they can go back 5 years.
Data compiled by Trade Partnership Worldwide indicates the Trump administration illegally collected more than $126 billion in tariffs nationwide through the end of last year, including more than $11 billion from Texas businesses. I'm Andrew Schneider in Houston.
And getting started this morning may be difficult now that you're losing an hour of sleep to daylight savings time, but there are steps you can take to adjust to the switch. Dr. Elisa Basura, a pediatric pulmonologist and sleep medicine specialist with Texas Health Center for Diagnostics and Surgery Plano, talked about this with KERA's Sam Baker in this week's Vital Signs.
And it's only a change of an hour, so why does that matter so much?
1 hour could be a lot for adults and also more for children because children need to sleep more than adults. And then 1 hour could make us to lose like 1 hour of sleep. And so that will make us to be more sleepy throughout the day. And then also we can have more like behavior changes. We can be a little bit more irritable. We can have like difficulty to concentrate, to focus, and having like memory issues like throughout the days.
Would this matter so much if Americans didn't have poor sleeping habits to begin with?
It's about like 40% of Americans like sleep the correct amount of hours. So if we add that we're going to be losing 1 extra hour of sleep, then that could create more issues.
I admit I didn't do any preparation before daylight savings time. So what does a person do to adjust to the time change after it happens?
After dinner, you start kind of like dim the lights of the house. You start avoiding electronics 2 hours before bedtime, if not 1 hour as a minimum before bedtime. And then try to start like doing some activities. Like, for example, you can do puzzles, you can color, you can read in the evening after dinner. Some activities that does not include a screen. And then you will do your bedtime routine, which includes like taking a shower or a bath, putting the PJs, brushing your teeth, and then doing like a little bit of activity like reading, or some people pray or sing, or even kind of like think about the good things that happen throughout the day, kind of like going those like 10-15 minutes before you go to sleep and then going to sleep. So you can start like adjusting like your environment and then making sure that your bedtime routine and hygiene is set, so that will make you to fall asleep earlier.
Do you recommend any aids, though, like, I don't know, melatonin or blackout curtains or shades or diet habits, changes in that or anything?
Our brain responds to the stimulus of light and darkness. So we want everything like bright in the morning and then everything dark at night. So you can start like kind of like closing the curtains earlier. You can start like dimming the lights in the house. And then of course, like if you need like some type of light to be like a little bit more like a dim light or like a not too bright. If you need to do like some activities at night, definitely you can start doing that. You can have the blackout curtains because there's going to be like sometimes that it's still going to be some brightness outside and then it's bedtime already, and more particularly for kids that go to bed earlier than adults. Also, you can start like having like a dinner a little bit earlier. So then you can have like, like do a meal. And then if you want it like to be like more like a light snack at bedtime, not to have like a big dinner close to bedtime. All these things are like cues to help our brain to fall asleep easier. And then in terms of melatonin, the response of our body in terms of darkness and brightness is related to the melatonin release of our brain. There are some cases that we need to recommend to use melatonin in some patients, but I will recommend to talk to your doctor about that.
So sort of at a last resort or something, maybe?
Yes, you need to have the appropriate environment to have the adequate like bedtime routine. And then if after that you still have like some struggle like to fall asleep, then melatonin could be a resource that you can use strictly by recommendations by your physician, because there are like different dosages per age. And then there could be like different times that we administer melatonin to help our inner clock.
Dr. Elisa Basura is a pediatric pulmonologist and sleep medicine specialist with Texas Health Plano. And that is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.